Hello everyone, this guy's Oliver, and I'm back with another Minecraft mod showcase, and today I'll be doing part 3 of my showcase of the Kamen Rider Craft V3 mod. I still have my deepest harpoon. It has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on, I just love this weapon. But anyway, I already recorded this once, but the lag was so bad, it just didn't work. I've updated my computer and destroyed every single armor stand in the entire world, so hopefully it will go better this time. Anyway, we're going on to Kamen Rider Gaim, and yes, this is a giant zipper covered in vines. I'm running out of things to do. But anyway, in this chest we have the new stuff from Gaim, and there's been quite a few things added to this part of the mod, as the multiple chests should indicate. But the first thing I want to show off is something relatively simple, and that's that all of the armor and lock seeds now have potion effects. So if I equip the Gaim armor and Henshin, I think this might have had it before, but as you can see, speed and haste, which I think was already in the mod. But if I change different forms, it does now change. Like most of the lock seeds do now have a potion effect, so that's good. Just something to keep in mind. But next we are going to move on to the new stuff that's added, the Kabi Orange Lock Seed and Kabi Dai Mario. And you're probably wondering, what is this lock seed? I've never seen it before in my life, and I've seen the entire show. Well, this is from a stage show. You see, Kamen Rider likes to do these stage shows after the main show is done. Normally, I think it's called, like, Final Stage or something like that. And this is from the Gaim stage show, which takes place after the series ended, and, well, Kabi Orange, as you can tell, looks bad. That's because that means basically moldy orange. So this is basically moldy orange arms. But basically, yeah, this is from the stage show, and it's basically Koda returning and being weakened at the start, so he's in this weakened form, which showcases because you have weakness and mining fatigue. Not exactly a good thing, and the Dai Mario does 4 damage. So, not sure why you would ever want this, but it is a thing. But yeah, that is a thing now, and it is kinda cool. I like it. It doesn't do anything, but it's kinda cool. But anyway, now we will move on to the next thing, which is Kamen Rider Maja. Now, Kamen Rider Maja, like the Kabi Orange stuff, is from the final stage show. So basically, this is the main villain of the stage show, just like with the Dark Wizard stuff over there. Well, Dark Wizard was a minion, but you get the point. Anyway, Henshin into Maja, which is just Maja arms. But anyway, he does look pretty cool, and he has speed 2, haste 2, strength 3, and resistance 2. So pretty strong. And kind of looks pretty awesome. Like, I don't know what this guy's based off of, but he's kind of cool looking. Something that's actually interesting is, apparently in the stage show, this guy's mask is kind of based off of a Masquerade Dauphin. They took a Masquerade Dauphin suit and did stuff with, face mask and did stuff with it. And the armor itself is new, though. And he does have the Maja's sword, which is kind of a repaint of Kamen Rider 13's weapon, and does 13 attack damage. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, basically this is the main villain of the stage show. He looks pretty cool, and yes, the others can use his Maja Lock Seed, though if I'm not mistaken, there's some errors with it. But, oh no, it's fixed now. You get the same exact speed buff and everything off of it, so it's basically fixed. Gaim, we go back into it, and then change into this. Yep, does work fine. And, of course, he can use the lock seeds just like everyone else. Actually, I think that, in the novel, like, there is a novel, and you can use everyone else's lock seeds and all that. I like how some of the design stays. But he does use some of the other, this was used by Kamen Rider Savior in the novel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're doing novels. Interesting when you think about it. But anyway, in fact, I think a few of the forms that are going to be added in this mod are from the novels. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing, which is the new Jimba forms, also from the novel, ironically enough. Also, now there's the Himawari Lock Seed. I'll get into that later, but it's used to craft all the Genesis stuff. So as you can see, you craft the Genesis arrow with this now. which is kind of cool. It's not existent in the show as of yet. Oh, no, they still use that. It must be the drivers. It must use the Genesis drivers. But anyway, we have 3 new forms for 3 different riders, so let's get on to it. First up is, and like with Gaim in the original, you need both Loxies in your inventory. But the first we're going to look at is Kamen Rider Ryugen Jimba Dragon Fruit, which looks pretty dang cool. Like, this does look pretty awesome. Now, this was from the novel, but it's also an SIC form, which is kind of cool. And you get night vision, speed, haste 2, strength 4, and resistance 3. And of course, you can use the sonic arrow just like you could in the actual show, with Gaim. But anyway, and of course, you can still use this Budo Ryuho, which something else I should note is a lot of the weapons now have their own unique damage outputs. As you see, the Kabi Daidai Maru does 4, the Sonic Arrow does 13, Maja's Sword does 13, and the Budo Ryuho does 7. But then again, you're using a gun and smacking someone over the head with it, so you'd expect it not to do as much as shooting them with a bow. I mean, hitting them with a bow that actually has a blade on it. Why did I put that back in there when I'm going to be using it again? Anyway, in here we next have Kamen Rider Zangetsu Melon Energy Arms. Which, I mean, not Melon Energy, Jimba Melon Arms. Now, this was a form we never actually got to see Gaim use. He had it in, like, the SIC version and stuff, but he never had it in the actual show. Like, the toys could do it, but the show could not. But anyway, Henshin into Jimba Melon Arms, which I think the explanation in the novel and the SIC for this is that his, if you remember at the end of the show, his Genesis driver was destroyed. Then he got a new Genesis driver in the movie, so it's complicated. It looks cool, though. And it's kind of neat to see someone other than Gaim use the Jimba form. And he gets night vision, speed, haste 2, strength 2, and resistance. So, yep, pretty awesome. I like these Jimba forms. I like the SIC forms, like these what-if forms. But anyway, next up we have the last of these 3. There's a lot more, as you can tell by the giant chest over there. But we get one of my favorite riders from Gaim, Kamen Rider Bravo! And I don't need anything else other than this. Mr. Dangerous! I love his catchphrase. His catchphrase is one of my favorites. But anyway, Henshin into Jimba Melon Arms. He finally gets to be with his beloved Melon. If you've seen the show, you know what I mean by that, and it's hilarious. But anyway, also his Naku, which is a cool weapon, now does 12 attack damage. So, that's pretty cool. He's got a pretty powerful weapon, in all honesty. But yep, Jimba Melon Arms. Same exact buffs as Zangetsu, I'm pretty sure. Where did I put Zangetsu's? Yes, same exact buffs. The only real difference is the appearance, which he still looks cool. I love this. And the SIC version actually has a special sonic arrow that has like a katana coming off of it. So, yeah, pretty dang cool. But next up, we are going to look at the Legend Rider Loxies, which are all added. And I'm going to actually grab Kamen Rider 13. Where is his driver? Alright, next we are going to look at the Legend Rider Loxie, and I decided to get Kamen Rider 15, I keep on calling him 13, who does have buffs. He gets speed 2, haste 2, strength 3, and resistance 2. Sorry if I'm repeating myself with some of these, I honestly forget. I don't think these actually have buffs yet, but anyway, we're going to look anyway. I said anyway too many times there. But basically, these are the Legend Rider Loxies, and the reason I'm using them with him is because in the movie, he was the one that actually, used them. I got Kabuto and Deno in reverse. I'm about to put Deno in there twice, I don't know why. But anyway, I don't know if these actually have buff yet. Henshin into Kuga Arms, which looks cool. I like Kuga. Yeah, no buffs on these yet. But it does look cool. I like that it's a bit more than just being Kuga with a Sengoku driver. But it does look cool. Agito, I like his. His looks really cool, especially on 15. Agito is one of my favorite designs anyway, so it's kind of cool to see that. Ryuki, who looks kind of weird, but that's because the eyes are the shoulder pads, and he has weird eyes to begin with. Fies? He's one of my favorites. I like how Fies looks. Looks really awesome. Fies Blade, who I think looks really cool. I do like how Blade comes off in this, like the Blade arms. Hibiki Arms, which looks pretty cool. Okay, I gotta find out, where did I put Maja's driver? Hang on. Ah, there it is. I want to use this with Maja, so let's see how this looks. Oh, that looks so awesome. Maja's perfect for Hibiki Arms. Like, he just looks so perfect with his arm set. Okay, back to 15, though, because this is his thing. But yeah, I like how Maja looks with that. Den-O. No, looks cool. It kind of looks a lot like Kuga, but that's just kind of due to the red shoulder pads. Kabuto. Well, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like the eye shoulder pads. Yeah, they look weird on the actual suits, but here it actually makes them look pretty cool and makes them distinct. But anyway, let's move on to the next and final set of riders in this, which will probably end up making me have to clear my inventory after this. But anyway, next we have Kiva, Decade, and Gaim. So let's look at these guys and see what they are. We know what they are. Let's see what they look like. Kiva. Oh, that actually looks pretty cool. I like how that looks. Decade, which we did see in the show. We actually did see him assume this arms. Well, movie. He was in the Kamen Rider Showa vs. Heisei movie. Gaim, which, yes, you can do the silly thing and do Gaim arms if you feel like it. Silly, but you can do it. But anyway, that's everything in this chest. Let's go check out everything in that chest. Alright, now as you can tell, there's a new ore that's been added, and that is Helheim Fruit ore for the Nether. So basically this will spawn in the Nether, and basically this is how you get all the Genesis Rider stuff. Like, if you were to mine this up, you should be getting this stuff for the Genesis Riders. So if I look up the, where is it, the Genesis driver here, as you can see, you need the Himawari Energy Lock Seeds to craft it, and of course you need their Energy Lock Seeds. So now you can find those in the Nether with this, so now basically everything from Gaim is obtainable in-game, which is kind of awesome. But in here we have the last things, which is the new weapons, and as I said, all the new weapons have new stats. But first off, we are going to look at this, which is a new rider altogether. And that is Kamen Rider Gaim Natsumeki. I can't pronounce it, I don't speak Japanese. It's a type of orange. Like, it's a certain type of orange. And same exact stats as Gaim, and basically this is an SIC exclusive form. And basically who this is if you remember Decade, this is Decade's female companion, the one that became Kivala. Spoilers for a very old series by this point. But basically this is her. She goes to the world of Gaim, becomes Gaim's, becomes a female version of Gaim. And it's kind of hard to tell, but her Kiva symbol is actually the head crest. So, kind of cool. I like these SIC forms. One thing I kind of hope is we get to see Kamen Rider G5, but I don't know if that was actually an official SIC form or just something someone made up. I mean, I know it actually exists and was mentioned in SIC, but eh. Anyway, next we have some new weapons. Some of these I think were actually in the original, but basically it's the Muso Saber combinations, which by the way, the Muso Saber now does 9 attack damage. But you have the DJ gun, which does 15 if you hit someone over the head with it, 22 in its Takan mode, which of course that would do a lot of damage, this is the strongest weapon. Muso Saber Naginata mode, which is the combination with the Daidai Maru. We have Bujin Gaim's variant, and we have the Kusari Gama mode. Which I don't think these are actually, which is 14, and the Naginata mode is 12. Now, I don't think these are craftable yet. They don't look craftable. This is craftable. So, maybe not everything is available, but most everything is. Like, I'm pretty sure the Daidai Marus are craftable. Yeah, so basically, these are the new weapons. If I jump up here, we have the Muso Saber, which was already in the game, but still looks pretty cool. The DJ gun, which of course can shoot. And, you know, you can hit people with it if you want to. The Takon mode, which has a cool texture. Like, look at the size of this thing. I love these big weapons. Oh, I lost my deepest harpoon when I cleaned my inventory. The Naginata mode, which, once again, has one of these cooler textures that's bigger. I love these newer textures. The Musoseba Naginata mode for the Bujin Gaim version. And the Kusari Gama mode. So, anyway, that's all that's new with Gaim, but there's a lot of stuff that's new. Like, basically everything from Gaim is now playable and now has all this. There's no Invis yet, but I do have a few surprises later on in this that will actually let me destroy things that aren't, Masquerade Dolphins. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, up here we have Kamen Rider Drive, and as you can tell, there is now ore. There is Shift Car Ore, which uses the Type Proto Speed Car, and the Nether Shift Car Ore, which uses Signal Bike Chaser. So, basically, yeah, this and this are now used in the crafting recipes to get everything out of Kamen Rider Drive. So that is pretty cool. I do like that. Now we can now craft things, though Signal Chaser is a little weird, but and it's all he had to really work with. But anyway, I want to show some things off here, so let's henshin into Kamen Rider Drive. Because there's a few things I do want to show off. Henshin. And first thing you can probably notice is there are buffs. Well, there might have been buffs already, I can't remember. But now every rider in Drive now has their own buffs, which is kind of cool. But if we go in here, you can of course guess that Type Trideron, which is, you know, his super mode, is overpowered. Okay, a little bit of lag there, but not much. Yeah, Night Vision, Speed 3, Haste 4, Strength, and Resistance 4, and this is that, like, overpowered Strength buff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it has to be, because Type Wild has a multi-strength buff. But, yeah, basically everything in Drive now has potion effects, which is kind of cool. But moving on to the new stuff, we now have Shift Hawtron, and Shift Type, Shift Speed Wild Technic, which were used by Heart in the Gaiden film, or special. So we go into Kamen Rider Heart, who has basically the same buffs as Type Trideron, if I'm not mistaken, if not slightly different. Okay, there's very slightly different buffs. And I think this is a little bit weaker. But anyway, that's Kamen Rider Heart. Shift Wild Technic has no buffs yet. I'm not sure how this would work, but basically this was in the movie, and it was kind of something that's an in-joke to the series. If you've seen the series, this is a bit of an in-joke. But anyway, moving on down the list, we now will take a look at... well, let me actually look at what Drive Proto's stats are. He just gets speed and haste. But we also do have the weapons now, which do not have their own unique stats yet, but they will. You know, you have the Trailer Hoe, or Trailer Cannon, which is crafted with Shift Formula, the Handle Cannon, which is has Shift Wild, the Door Gun, which has Shift Technic, the Azerian Shooter, which uses Signal Mach, the Signal Axe, which uses Signal Chaser, the Lupin, well, actually I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, basically these are the weapons that it comes with, and as I kind of spoiled, we now have a few other things. Now, if I take my belt off here and use this, what is it? Break up. We can turn into Kamen Rider, well, not Chaser, because that's his rider form. We can turn into Machine Chaser, which is pretty cool. And now you can shoot this. There is a bit of bug at the moment. This is supposed to kind of self-destruct after use, because right now you can just keep using it and get an entire inventory full of them if you want to. But that is a glitch they're working on at the moment, but I do like that Machine Chaser is in here. And we also do have his Rhino Super Viral Core, which is from his Gaiden film. Now we can turn into Super Machine Chaser. which, yeah, basically is his Rhino-themed form from the movie, his super mode, which is kind of awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, let me shut the chest, if I use the Mach driver and put it on instead, which, by the way, you get speed 2, haste 2, and strength, I'm pretty sure I can use this, yep, I can, to turn into Kamen Rider Mach Super Dead Heat, which is actually, unlike Drive's Super Dead Heat form, useful. You get speed, haste 3, strength, regeneration 2, and resistance. So yeah, you get to be pretty powerful in this form. Which I think there's also another one in here, maybe. Okay, I don't think it was actually added in this particular update, unless I'm mistaken. No, it was the Ride Crosser. I just forgot to put it in the chest, apparently. Did I? Apparently I did, somehow. But anyway, we can now do this to turn into Kamen Rider Mach Chaser, I think, which is a super mode, which gives you speed. I think this is actually a... No, this is normal speed. Haste 3, strength, which I think is that wicked strength buff, regeneration, and resistance 4. And this is from Mach's Gaiden movie. So yeah, I don't know how I forgot to actually put that in the chest. I did. I apologize. But it is in the mod. And what else is also in the mod is Kamen Rider Lupin. Also, one thing I should note is you use the Signal Chaser to craft the Mach driver. Because like I said, that spawns from that or there. But anyway, Lupin Henshin. I love Kamen Rider Lupin. Kamen Rider Lupin is one of my favorite Dark Riders. And of course you get his Lupin Gunner, which is his transformation device in the movie, but the belt looks cool. I do like Lupin. He's just one of my favorite Dark Riders, and he fit the film so well. But anyway, next we have the Metro PD driver Hano, which is crafted with Signal Chaser. I really don't agree with this. I love this mod, but I don't agree with that for one reason, and I'll get into that in a second. Henshin. As you can see, the buffs aren't that good. And this is why I'm showing you. He now has the key, which is used to craft it. I think this should use the normal prototype, like the normal shift drive prototype, because in the show, this thing was weak. Like, it is ridiculously weak. Maybe that's the joke, but it feels more like that's how it should be crafted. Because, well, with Lupin, you just surround a block of gold and shift cars. So, it's easier to get Lupin than this, and that feels a little off. But, I'm not the mod maker. Anyway, lastly, we have Kamen Rider Dark Drive stuff, which I think was in a previous mod, but of course now he has buffs. So, and we, of course, have Kamen Rider Dark Drive shift cars. Shift next, shift, and we also get his Blade Gunner. And these don't do anything, they just look cool. Shift next Hunter, Shift next Builder, and Shift next Traveler. They don't do anything at present. But anyway, Henshin into Kamen Rider Dark Drive, who gets Speed 2, Haste 2, and Strength 4. And we have his Blade Gunner, which of course you can shoot with as you'd expect. I think you can shoot with it. Maybe not. But it does 7 attack damage as per usual, and is crafted with the Shift Next and the normal crafting recipes. And we have Shift Special, which gives you Speed 3, Haste 3, and Strength 3. So, pretty cool. I like that these are in the mod. And, well, they have buffs. I think these might have been it before, but like I said, everything now has buffs. And that includes, like, the random shift cars, which are a bit... They have various effects. Like, if I grab... let's try Max Flare here. It gives me fire resistance. If I grab Shift Dead Heat, I get Strength 4 and Nausea, which for some reason is not actually manifesting. But it does make sense with what it is. Let me see. I'm in Dead Heat, so I could use the shift cars, but... but you get the point. Basically, these shift cars now all do stuff and are usable. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end this episode, because we're running on 30 minutes. Hang on here. I do like that you can do that and take the helmet off and, you know, be the, just in the suit. I love that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time, and make sure to hit that bell to get notifications of when I post videos. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.